Okay, let's talk about that feeling. You know the one, that deep, sinking feeling you get when someone just hits you with, "So, how about this weather?" If you've ever felt totally trapped in a conversation about weekend traffic, trust me, you are not alone. Today, we're going to dive into the fascinating psychology behind why you might absolutely hate small talk. Right? You're nodding along, you're talking about your weekend plans, but the whole time your brain is just screaming to talk about something, literally anything, more meaningful. It's such a common feeling, almost like you're stuck in a conversational waiting room and you just can't find the exit. So, if that feeling is super familiar to you, I want you to hear this loud and clear. There is nothing wrong with you. It is not a social flaw. It's not a sign that you're awkward. In fact, it's a powerful indicator of something much, much deeper going on inside your mind. So, first up, let's really break down this struggle. I mean, for a lot of people, small talk isn't just a little boring, it can be genuinely mentally exhausting. But what is actually happening that makes it feel so draining? Well, this comparison really lays it all out. You've got these two different ways of connecting. Small talk is all about the what. What did you do? What are your plans? It's low effort and it's designed to build these simple social bridges. You can think of it as the polite opening act. But then you have deep conversation. This explores the why and the how. It takes a lot more brain power, yeah, but that high cognitive engagement, that's what builds the truly meaningful bonds. And this brings us right to the core concept of this whole thing, cognitive depth. This is the hidden trait that really explains your entire approach to conversation, and it's the key to why you might prefer one of those modes way more than the other. So, what is it exactly? Well, cognitive depth is basically a preference for processing information in a really complex, meaningful way. It means you are just naturally wired to look for the why behind everything, to dig into the underlying principles instead of just staying on the surface. You know, this quote just captures the emotional side of it perfectly. For someone who's wired this way, small talk doesn't just feel dull, it actively feels like a barrier, like a wall that's physically preventing you from forming a real, authentic connection with the person right in front of you. So how does this actually play out in the brain? Let's try to unpack the mind of what we'll call a depth seeker and see what's really happening behind the scenes during a typical chat. Do any of these sound like you? You know, you're not satisfied with knowing what happened on someone's trip. You want to know why they picked that place, what it taught them. Big parties just drain your social battery, but you could talk to one fascinating person for hours. That routine chatter about daily tasks, it feels physically tiring. But exploring some abstract idea, that's like a playground for your mind. And for you, real connection isn't about agreeing on everything. It's about sharing something vulnerable, something insightful. Now, the important thing to get here is that this is an automatic process. It's not really a choice. Someone asks, "How was your weekend?" And your brain, it doesn't just spit out a simple answer. It immediately starts scanning for a pattern, a deeper meaning, or some way to pivot the conversation towards something more substantial. It's like this constant internal drive for meaning that's always running. Okay, so now for the good news, because while this trait can make small talk a real challenge, it has a massive, massive upside. Let's look at the incredible power that comes from seeking out these deeper bonds. This first point, it's the ultimate quality over quantity rule. For a depth seeker, just one single meaningful conversation can give you more social energy and fulfillment than 100 shallow, forgettable interactions. It's all about forging connections that actually last and truly nourish you. And this chart really visualizes where depth seekers get that fulfillment. As you can see, routine updates, yeah, they provide a pretty low level of satisfaction. Shared experiences are a bit better, for sure. But look at the bar for intellectual connection. I mean, it's just so much higher. This is where depth seekers truly come alive and feel connected to other people. So what does this all mean? Well, it all leads to this really crucial reframing of the whole experience. It's about moving from frustration to acceptance and then, finally, to embracing your natural need for meaning as a total strength. So listen, your dislike of small talk isn't a bug. It's a feature. Think of it as your mind's built-in filtering system. It's designed to help you bypass all the noise and find the people and the conversations that are genuinely going to light you up. It's your compass, and it's always pointing toward true connection. So I'll leave you with a little challenge. The next time you feel yourself stuck in that conversational waiting room, what is one open-ended, genuine question you can ask to pivot away from the surface? Instead of "How was your weekend?" maybe try something like, "What was the most interesting thing you learned this week?" You'd be amazed how one small shift can open the door to a real conversation. Thanks for joining me.